It's now January 13th, and haven't done a video since the end of deer season in December, since I've been busy with school and Nordic skiing and things, but I'm getting excited for shed hunting in 2021, and I've been doing a lot of ice fishing and coyote hunting and snowshoe hare and different things like that. So I thought to kick off the shed season for 2021, I'd just do a little video of my shed collection. And I got into shed hunting about 2 years ago when I was looking for signpost rubs up near Big Squaw Mountain by Greenville Junction by Moosehead Lake, and my brother and I found a matching set of big moose antlers. So that kind of got me addicted to shed hunting, and ever since then I've been doing it. So I don't have a really big collection because I've only been shed hunting for a couple years, but I found a lot of deer antlers down here around Gray in southern Maine and a few moose antlers up north. So I'll show you guys my collection, and I can't wait to get shed hunting in 2021 and hopefully find more than I ever have before. I have a lot of good spots picked out, and it's only the middle of January, so they haven't really started dropping yet, but probably by the time February rolls around I'll start doing some serious shed hunting. I only have 10 deer antlers and a couple of moose sheds because I haven't been doing it for very long, but I'll start at the bottom of the stack and work my way up to my favorite ones. So to begin with, this is a small little left side shed that I found 2 weeks ago. I've never found one in December before, but this was the only one I've ever found in December. It's pretty old and chewed up, and I found it right next to a hiking trail, so I think somebody else's dog must have sniffed it out and pulled it out beside a hiking trail, and then I found it when I was hiking. This is another one that I found pretty close to the first one, and it's another 3-point antler, really old and chewed up. No brow tine on it, but I thought it was worth taking out of the woods. Another oldie that I found down here in southern Maine. This one was really chewed up, but it would have been a nice antler if I had found it fresh. I think it was 1 year old, but it just happened to get chewed hard by the mice. It would have been a nice 5-pointer, but the brow tine is completely gone, and the backside still had a little bit of brown on it, but this one I found when I was out shed hunting with Brookie the dog. I got into a new area here. I've never been in this area, and I was walking down just one of these heavily used deer trails, and we actually found an antler. I didn't expect to find one today, and it's chewed to pieces by the mice, but it's a decent size. It's not a huge one. Brookie likes licking them. I think it might be this year's though. It's just a little bleached. Might be last year's, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, wow. It's another right side. I seem to find mostly right side antlers. But I think this is the 7th shed antler I found this season. So that's cool. A 5-pointer. I'm gonna keep looking around here. Now we're finally getting into the brown antlers. This is a little one that I found by Little Sebago Lake in a wildlife sanctuary. I was out shed hunting with my dad for the whole day, and finally at the end of the day we found this one antler. It's in perfect condition, no mouse chews or anything. A small little 4-pointer. So that's that one. I hope I might be able to find this buck shed from this year. It's March 1st, and we're out for a shed hunt out between Libby Hill and Little Sebago Lake. We came from that way, up this heavily used deer trail, and I'm out with my big paw, the Savage Arms man. And we came out here, so I've been out for the whole day, and we finally found our first antler of the day.
First one is at 3:15 p.m.
It took the whole day to find this.
Oozing in a little bit.
Yep. Nice one from this year.
So 4 points on it.
Yeah,
Half
small
of a
4.
small 8.
Yep.
And that's another right hand
Oh yeah.
side, isn't it?
It's a left, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's a left.
You found a bunch the other day, and like 4 in a row were right-handed.
Yeah.
Beauty.
A small one, but it's a good one.
Kind of right on a knoll too, so we don't know if
Yeah, he had a good view.
was he bedded, was he feeding, who knows, but he was at least here, and you look around and he's got like a 360-degree view all around him from this little knoll.
Yeah. And then this, another little 4-pointer. This one got chewed a little bit, but it's really nice and dark, chocolatey brown, so this is a pretty nice one. This is a much bigger antler, and I found this in an area where I did a lot of deer hunting, and I think I saw this same buck when I was hunting, but I never got a good look at his rack. And then I went back turkey hunting there in the spring and found this shed laying right near the same area where I saw that buck. So I think I've seen this buck in person when I was hunting, and got close to him, but never could see his rack. And then I went back and found a good size 4-point antler, so probably an 8-point buck. This morning I got up at 3 a.m. and headed out to this woodlot here, and I heard a gobbler early in the morning and tried to sneak in and call him in, but he was headed out to a different field, so I never got a chance at him. And then I was coming back toward the car through this stuff to meet Dad, and I saw some deer rubs, so thought it might be a good spot to look for shed antlers. So today was just supposed to be a turkey hunt, but then I saw some rubs on trees and decided to just take a look around for some antlers. And to my surprise, I actually came across this. It's a little bit chewed because it's so late in the year, but it's a nice 4-pointer. It's not too big. I'll go see if I can find another gobbler now. And then this is the only deer antler that I found up by Moosehead Lake, by our camp where we do shed hunting for moose antlers up north. This morning we went up to Misery Ridge. We crossed the east and the west outlet of Moosehead. Went up there, took a picture at those train tracks, and this morning we went down to the lake, which is down that way, and we think we found a little bit of a deer yard in here, which is pretty cool. There's just deer poop everywhere. We were expecting to find more moose sign around here, but turns out there's more deer sign, and I just found the first shed I've ever found while shed hunting up north, and I found it by tripping on it. It's a beautiful deer shed. I was literally walking right down here, looked down, saw a pile of deer poop somewhere around here, and I went to take another step and tripped and looked down, and I hadn't even seen this thing. It's a big, wide 3-point left side deer antler. I can't believe it. I really wasn't expecting to find anything, and if I was gonna find something, I thought it might be moose antlers, but it turns out I found another deer shed. That's pretty cool. No mouse chews on it at all. It's a really, really big 3, so the buck must have been a big 6, or maybe 7 or something if he had 4 on the other side. But that's really cool. The bright sun makes all these patches and shadows, which just makes it hard to see the antlers, and that's why I tripped right over that one before I even saw it. It's a nice brown one. The top side is kind of faded, but the back side has nice colors, and this one's really cool because it's a really big antler from a big buck, but it's only a 3-pointer. So sometimes antlers this size could be have 4 or 5 or even 6 points, and this one's only a 3-pointer. And then this is one of my favorite antlers because it's pretty small, but it's a 5-point antler. I found this over on Libby Hill by the GNG High School, and a nice brown one. If you compare it to this other one, it's a lot smaller in size than this buck. This was probably a much bigger buck, but this is like a perfect 5-point antler, and this one has only 3 points. So they can just be so different. And then these are the last two are my biggest antlers I've ever found. I found them both on the same day within like 200 yards of each other, and they're the same side, so they're from different bucks. They're both nice big 5-pointers, and they were both browns when I found them, so they're really nice sheds from pretty big bucks. This is the slightly smaller one, and this one's from the bigger deer. They were both right sides. I thought at first, I found this one first, and then I found this one, and I thought I had found the matching side when I saw this, but it turns out they were both right sides, so they were from different bucks, but I found them about 200 yards apart. I could never match them up, but those are pretty nice. And then these are just a couple of deadheads I found. A little 4-pointer with little blade things coming out of his pedicle. Whenever I find deadheads, even if they're small, I like to keep them because I just like antlers and racks and things. And a bigger deadhead that I found pretty close to these two big antlers. That was a nice 4-pointer. Too bad that he got eaten by the coyotes, but I found his skull and part of his backbone, and then brought his head out of the woods. And then I haven't done a lot of shed hunting for moose antlers, and I've tried to train Brooklyn a little bit to find them for me, but I haven't gotten her to find any yet. So this is one of my moose sheds. It's old and kind of moldy. It's Saturday, May 23rd, and Dad, Mikey, and I are out for a shed hunt. We're in Big Moose Township, and we hiked in from Westmore Bog Road. That's up the hill a little ways that way. We're out with Brooklyn and Judy. Judy and Mikey are somewhere up there, and we've only been out for about an hour so far. Mom stayed back at the car to take a nap, and then we lost Mikey, so we had to hike back out, and we searched for Mikey for about a half an hour, and during our search we finally found the first antler of the day. So what do you think?
Yeah, another good find, a little bit older.
Yeah.
Not a brand new one. We haven't really looked at it closely yet, but I'm thinking it might not even be this past winter. I don't know. We haven't really examined it yet.
No, from what it looks like, I think it's probably
a year old.
Yeah, a year old.
But anyway, it's just always fun to find these, because sometimes you don't find any in many days, so to find one is pretty fun.
Yeah, so this is the third moose we've ever found.
And they've all been within probably 200 yards of each other.
Yeah. Okay, you want to pick it up?
All right, so here it is.
It was almost completely buried.
Yeah, not a lot sticking out. That shows us that, see, all the leaves were on it.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't have been dropped off like this January, because then it wouldn't have leaves on it. This may be even 2 or 3 years old, I don't know. But surprisingly not too eaten. You know.
Yeah, a little bit on the tines are chewed off, but.
Yeah, but back here, you know, there's most of the major parts of it are intact, and it's a nice one. It's not huge, but really pretty.
That could actually even be one from the same bull we picked up last spring, and this could be his antler from before those ones that we got.
Yeah.
Looks like about the right size.
Oh, I always get this wrong. That's a lefty, right?
Yeah, it looks like a lefty.
Left side.
Yep.
So maybe Well, if we were going to find the matching pair, that'd be more likely if it was a fresh one.
Yeah.
Because if this was dropped a year ago or maybe 2 years ago, chances are that one's going to be hard to find.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're always fun.
My dad and I found it. We could just see the tines sticking out of the leaves, and here where it's all brown is where it was starting to decompose into the ground, but I pulled it out and it's still pretty hard and in good shape. So that's a nice moose paddle. And then my favorite antler in my collection is this moose paddle. This was the match to my brother's side, and he found that side and then brought it back to the truck, and then I just started doing circles from that same spot and I found this one. So we had the matching set to this bull moose, and then he sold his to an antler buyer. But I want to keep this one because it's the first, this was the first shed I ever found, and it has nice color. It's not super big, but it's a nice moose antler, and it represents the first one I've ever found. So that's the collection, a couple of moose sheds, some dead heads from bucks that didn't make it, and about 10 deer antlers. Most of them are older, smaller ones, but there's a couple of nice, pretty big ones in here. So that's my collection, and hopefully this spring I can put some miles on and find some more and hopefully beat the amount that I found last year.